I'm about to share this image. 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Yeah. You call this a moon? I don't. Right. This is live weather cam. I saw this extra object on the 4 o'clock position. Right. That is not natural. It's not meant to be full moon either. Definitely not natural. I'm just gone live to share this. This is very odd. Just gone live to share this. So it's more like a 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock position. I'll look out about that. UK means red as an extra object. Let me just edit this a minute. I can edit this at the moment, so I just have to make do. Right, so this is a live weather cam, obviously. Let me just don't need an extra thing. So what you're looking at, 90% right to visual the moon, but there's a map of England down here. Time and date is what it is, the time zone. So there's a full moon, blood moon that's meant to happen. They call it a beaver moon. I'm not in London, but this gives you an idea. Right? So I'm going down to the dates. Right. So in November, okay, it's a full moon. Right. So really sort of like it quotes, like you see down here, showing full moon phases 8th, which is next Tuesday, not today, which is 5th of November, Saturday, 2022. It's not meant to be happening. Deception in the skies. So you can go around the world clock, right? And then you're not got another full moon. Okay. So you got the 8th, and it goes on the dates here. Alright, new moon. They call it, it's not until 23rd of November, 23rd. You see, these satanic demonic entities have to create the fake events. So demonic. Shape-shifting demons, eh? You've seen it for yourself. And then the object, right? And then you've got all these, there's so much demonic entities. It's given a reflection on that water as 2 objects. Okay, the smaller one. Then, of course, it implies it could be a planet. I'm not an expert in astronomy, but it could be on the top right, further up. Could be a mini star, satellite. But they've got the night cam on. Right. So I'm just going to open another tab and see if I can get into the other camera. This is the times we're living in. Right. So let's have a look at the UK mainstream weather forecast as well. It has a lot to do with the solar weather. Right. So, okay. No, they've changed. They said it's going to rain all day. It's happening out. I'm being poorly. Radiating me. Can you see how they're manipulating the weather to get cold at night? I'm turning my light off because she got the electricity. The perks I live in England. You go, move here. Number 9. You fake her. Oh, she's showed her face. Let me just add this while I'm doing this, right? A female fake boyfriend's not moved into number 9. She's still around. You can't rent a flat out. These satanic ritual abuses and these keeping hibernating in a flat for ages. Number 9. She stopped dealing drugs, but she's doing other stuff. It's back on the scene again. Right. So the weather. I'm not going to quote about anything what they're doing. This is a distraction. Okay. You're making house calls, are you? You perverted drug dealing. Connections to the Illuminati. Right, let's have a look in Eastbourne. It's bad weather down in South England. It's been like this all day. Very overcast and cloudy conditions. I'm having to go out somewhere shortly. But wrapping up like a winter. It's kind of, right. Paintings. Let's have a look. So I can't see anything now. There you go. That shouldn't be like that. Sometimes the cross sockets are weird. And the sockets all next to it. So anyone else that's got a telescope? Seeing they're blocking my internet access again. Always watching. Just perverted. Yeah, before it went dark it showed up it was a red reflection. So let me have a nose. If there's any other cameras. There's weather events on YouTube. Sometimes the cross sockets weird. But obviously nobody comes in my life because they're rerouting my IP location. So you perpetrated demons and shapeshifter twats can go and just jump where you come back from. So there's nothing on the other side of Scottish Light with the camera. It's not even showing up. So they're giving this direction. Anyway. And so there's other people pissing me about. So let's have a look what other weather cams are open. Showing anything. This technology is radiating my heart, giving me heart pains, chest pains. And the muscles. Alright, let's have a look. What about Cornwall? Won't be up getting some bloody freezing cold air. The weather control. Ah, it's ironic, isn't it? It gets pitch dark in the Midlands and it's still light in Cornwall on the weather camera. Look how they manipulate the bloody weather. Yeah? Someone's walking along with a camera. Oh, look at that. You see? It's manipulating. Someone's walking their dog. And it's not even pitch dark because they haven't got the night camera on yet on the weather camera in Cornwall. See how they manipulate the bloody weather and the cameras? Complete pitch dark outside in my area, and in Scotland the same. Not in South Cornwall. See how they're manipulating with the Earth's weather, and especially over here in England and Scotland. So, you got you just demonic demons. Oh, cast you out in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I've had enough of this shite. Right, I've got to get a few supplies and take some painkillers in my chest pain. Yeah, well, I woke up today with bruise on my left side of my leg. Get some papers. Yeah, I don't know. I got that. Can't remember catching it at all. My nails are going long and need trimming. So, a pack of everything. I've got to get to a shop that's still open. It's a bit of a pain to get there. Because it's very expensive in the other place. If you go to a shop that's open really late, they're putting the prices up extremely high. So I'm just going to get a few bits. I can't be bothered, especially when I just want a takeaway thing. Their takeaways is about £5 now. And if you get one in a bloody kebab takeaway place, I mean, you're looking at a tenner. It's not worth it. It's not worth the cost. So my mate's going to freeze my one, or she cooked for me as a stew. She's going to freeze it for me and then defrost it. Gotta have some Wi-Fi off and just wrap up. Okay, turmeric tea, natural turmeric tea with the paint. So I just thought I'd go live and observe it. I can tell they've got a square around it, so it's like deceptions and spiceweather.co.uk, @5 in the afternoon. And also, it's meant to be fireworks night. Come on, look at the truth about fireworks, the history. Guy Fawkes. Then they can do Wikipedia. It's all man-made, all this BS, right? When is the cost of living payment? Look, I'm not going to bloody pay for anything now. I've got enough of this shit. Excuse my bluntness. Right. Like and white. So. Let's see what anybody else is picking it up. Could be the solar weather effects. I tell you, these demons, non-human demons, they're demonic, shape-shifting demonic. I've got a playlist. It's military, Black Ops, and My Lab projects. Shape-shifting demons. Go and check out these videos. You got Super Soldier Talk. They're manipulating everything in this bloody world. There's a very divine truth too. He's so clued up in his information. The Illuminati. I'm very impressed with people that are able to see through the veil. the shape-shifting non-human entities. So let me show you. I'm going to screen share this. Shape-shifting demons. You're taking possession of souls, doing all the demonic things. So Brian, I was listening to Brian Cheers. I mean, you can have a look for oneself. Excellent sort of like breakdown of the evidence. There's so much deception of these end of times. So this is the channel Divine Truth 2. It's really, really good. And just upload another video. Right. Why celebrating? Oh, for God's sake. Excuse my bluntness. Let's stop sharing. You don't celebrate fireworks. You want to blow up the bloody. You can't blow up a building because I just set up another place. Right, the truth about Guy Fawkes. I know the truth, but history. Oops, I'm on caps. Truth exposed. And Guy Fawkes. Stop fucking talking to me, you twats. Get off my fucking body. Born in 15th century. They got the gunpowder. I think a lot of people just want to blow up the bloody old. You can't blow up a building because these entities are literally soulless. They're demonic. So you don't want to have tradition of like, this is on Britannia, right? I've got to screen share this image because we're dealing with non-human demonic entities. So just a simple search will find the truth if you get it out there. Right, Wikipedia, it's a good source I'll find. Right, there's your history. 1570. Known as Guido Fawkes, while fighting with the Spanish, was a member of a group of an English Catholics involved in a failed gunpowder plot, 1605. He was educated in York in England. His father died when Fawkes was 8 years old, which is a shame. After which his mother married a Catholic. Fawkes converted to Catholicism and left for mainland Europe, where he fought for the Catholic Spain in the early year wars against Protestant Dutch reformers in the Low Countries. He travelled to Spain to seek support for a Catholic rebellion in England without success, because it's run by the traditional, I suppose, was it? I don't know what religion was being run then. He later met a Thomas Wintour, whom he returned to England. Now Wintour introduced him into Robert Calisbury, who planned to assassinate the King James I and restore a Catholic monarch. It's always about royalty, isn't it? To the throne. The plotters leased an uncroft beneath the House of Lords, which is a building, and Fawkes was placed in charge of the gunpowder that's stockpiled there. Now, whoever it was at the time was prompted by an anonymous letter to search Westminster Palace. During the early hours of 5th of November, they found Fawkes guiding, standing by the explosives, gunpowder. He was questioned and tortured. He's just standing by there, but hasn't done anything. In those days, they assumed he was guilty. And he was tortured over a few days. Because of the torture, he confessed. Wouldn't you, if you were being tortured and you were tortured to literally death and you were forced to confess to wanting to work the House of Lords, Commons, whatever building there? Fawkes was sentenced to be hanged and quartered, however, at the Ectra, on that date, the 31st of January, New Year's Eve. He died when his neck was broken as he was hanged, with some sources claiming he deliberately jumped to make this happen. He thus avoided the agony of a sentence. He became synonymous for the gunpowder plot. So how do you know it wasn't all staged to set him up? The failure of which has been commended in the UK. Well, of course it would be. They don't have any authority. As Guy Fawkes Night, ever since 1605. And this traditional burn on a bonfire, accompanied by fireworks. So they're just made assumptions about this individual, and I don't condemn whatever has allegedly happened, because I wasn't around in that period of time. So let's have a look. So, what happened to the other blokes? Conspiracy to assassinate the King James. The brothers, they were related to other conspirators, such as their cousin and a half brother. Right. So the leader of a group of English Catholics who planned a failed plot. That's the one there. So the king, Kings v1 was King Scotland as James v1 on the 24th of July 1567, and the King of England and Ireland, James I, on the union of the Scottish and English crowns was dated 24th of March 1603 until his death, 1625. The Kingdom of Scotland and England were individual sovereign states. Now, let's go to the undercroft. Here you go. Traditionally, it was a cellar, storeroom, and a brick-lined vault used for storage of buildings since medieval times. In modern uses, the undercroft generally a ground street level, which is relatively open to the sides, but covered by a building above. Okay. In England now, it is actually known as the Limited Company, House of Lords, House of Parliament, House of Commons. There's the Palace Westminster building, but it's actually Limited Company. Let me just get rid of pop-ups. So let's get this started. So he was the second of 4 children to Edward Fawkes. And his wife. Guy's parents were regular. Let's have a look at this. Communion Law Supper among the names of Christian rite considers a sacrament in most churches. Let's go back to where I was. And then what else? Of the Church of England, as were his grandparents and his grandmother, and was the daughter of a prominent merchant who served as the Lord Mayor of York. In 1536. And then Guy's mother's family were Catholics, his cousin. And let's have a look at their connection. It's ironic. Richard Cronin became a Jewett. Yeah, Guy's mother's family were Catholics. Stop fucking talking about bloody face, for fuck's sake. These direct energy weapons. Oh, right. There you go. The order. Look at the symbolism. Society of Jesus, JS, known as Jewets. Religious order of the Celts. Regular rite for men in church headquarters in Rome. All these back financially now to Rome Pope. It's all very demonic. At his mother's side. Right. The date of Fawkes' birth is unknown. He was baptised in Church of St. Michael in York. Obviously a Church of England, wasn't it? Anglican Church. As there is a gap between the birth and baptism was 3 days, number 3, he was probably born 13th of April 1556. He did have given birth to a daughter named Annie, but the child died, unfortunately, after 7 weeks. In November that year, she bore 2 more children after Guy. Quotes who they were, and in 1579, when Guy was 8 years old, his father died. His mother remarried several years later to a Catholic. It doesn't say how they met in Harrogate. Fawkes may have become a Catholic through the family's quotes tendencies and also the Catholic branches. And it goes into the families, it goes into history. Okay, a governor of the school he had went to spent 20 years in prison for, I don't know specifically what they mean on this article, but you can read it for yourself. And then this guy, John, came from a family of noted Yorkshire. Is that meant to be resistance? So in 1915, a book was out of Yorkshire author, and it quotes who it is, and suggests that Fawkes' Catholic education came from the Harrington relatives, who were known to harbouring priests for whatever reason, of whom later accompanied Fawkes to Flanders in 1592. Fawkes' fellow students included John Wright, his brother Christopher. A group of provincial English Catholics who planned the failed, as I just said, and his brother. Let's go down here. Okay, so you got Oswald Tesmond was an English Stuart, born in either November, York, who was a direct conspirator but had some knowledge of the gun plot beforehand. You see? He was like a fool guy. Get it? A fool guy? Guy talks. It's a set-up job to put him out to dry, most probably. So here's his Wikipedia. Quite, if you know anything about, the history of the Jewets and the Pope and all these different Scottish rites and Freemasonry, it goes much deeper than that. You need to do your history. So this guy already knew there was going to be a plot when he tipped off. So that's why he got hanged for dry. He was just a lookout guy. So he got caught. And that's why all these traditions now, it's always been that way. England's always been the one in history to push the Masonic lodges and all that stuff. You need to dig around in history. It goes on to imply that the plot and Osmond, Edward and Robert, who became priests. Oh yeah, so they got promoted, did they? So they stitched their mate up, Guy Fawkes, and so they got a good job as a priest, did they? I wonder how they got that bloody job. How they're, medieval days, isn't it? After leaving school, Fawkes attended a service of English peer in the Tudor period. First Falcon. The Falcon took a dislike to Fawkes and after a short time dismissed him. He weren't having much luck, was he, in his work? He was subsequently employed by the second and an English peer during the Tudor period, the Stuart period, who succeeded his grandfather at the age of 18. At least one source claims that Fawkes married and had a son, but no known accounts of it confirms this. Military. 1591, Fawkes sold the estate in Clinton, York, and that he had inherited from his dad. He travelled to the continent to fight in the what this war was. An armed conflict in Netherlands between groups of rebels, the Spanish government. The cause of the war included reform and taxation, the rights and privileges of the nobility of this Catholic Spain against Dutch Republic. And then goes along piece of this area, territory, because there's always been wars, isn't there? Goes along Although England was not by then engaged in land operations against Spain, the two countries were still at war. Wow. The Spanish Armada, that's all famous. 1588 was the only 5 years in the past. He joined William Stanley, son of another Earl of Derby, and he was an officer and served under Queen Elizabeth I of England, and is noted for the surrender of somewhere in Spain, 1587. Bloody hell. It goes on his military career a bit more. Goes down. And it goes to gunpowder plot. So 1604, he became involved with a small group of English Catholics and somebody else who planned to assassinate then the Protestant King James and replace him with his daughter. Oh, wow, really? Let's have a look. What nobility did he have for the crown? Let's have a look. A form of Western Christianity that follows the tenets of Protestant reform. Christianity that began seeking to reform the Catholic Church from the 16th century against its followers perceived. So that's just background there. The first meeting of 5 central conspirators took place on 20th of May, beginning of the year, well, top of the year, 1604, in the inn called Duck and Drake, fashionable Strand in central London. Wow. This just gives you the background of the spy in the mist. And just skim reading this, I'm not going to read it all. So, who was this? One of the conspirators, Thomas Percy, was appointed as a Majesty's bodyguard in 1834. So this is who he was. So they claim English Catholics planned the failed gun plot. Tall, physically impressive man, this individual, known for his early life beyond the University of Cambridge and his marriage in 50. Well. Anyway, be well the scaremongering going on as well. There's all the history, you know. So it just gives you a background what's known in history books on this Wikipedia page. There's got to be nobility in it somewhere, isn't there? An attempt to grant foreign support was in May. Fawkes travelled overseas and informed a huge Owen of the plotter's plan. At some point during the trip, his name made its way into the files of the first Earl of Salisbury. So it gives you background on that page too, that is. And then, what else? Falk's final route on the plot was settled during a series of meetings in October. He was to light the fuse and escape across the Thames, the River Thames. A revolt in the Midlands would help ensure the capture of Princess Elizabeth Atsoff. Let's have a look at them. The proposal killing of a monarch or a sovereign is often associated with the power regaining. It's gone off. Keep hacking. The word comes from the Latin roots, meaning definitions. To capture the princess and try to do whatever was frowned upon, and Fawkes would therefore head to the continent where he would capture the Catholic powers of his holy duty to kill the king and his so it goes into that discovery. A few of the conspirators were concerned about fellow Catholics who would be present at the Parliament during the opening on the evening 26th of October. Now, said that nobility he received an anonymous letter tip off to stay away, and it goes in a bit more about that. They shall receive a terrible blow of this Parliament. So it won't be that long, it's 6 o'clock now. So let's have a look. The report, so let's have a look. The letter was shown to King James. King James ordered Thomas to conduct a search of the was an English courier, member of Parliament, who played a part in foiling the gunpowder plot. It's quite a good write-up about this. There's all this scaremonger. Stop hacking me, go away. Anyway, there you go, trial. The trial of 8 of the plotters began on 27th of January 1606 and shared the barge from the Tower to Westminster Hall. With the 7 of its conspirators, they were kept in the Star Chamber. So let's have a look. The king and his close family, watching in secret, I'm not surprised, were among the spectators. Lord Commissioners read out the list of charges. Let's have a look. He pleaded. Oh, look here. He did plead not guilty. I thought as much. Despite his apparent appearance of guilt from the moment he was captured. That's alleged. Yeah? Don't forget the Jews involved. Look into the history. Who controls? They had to sell him out to dry. He pleaded not guilty. That doesn't get out, does it? The jury found all the defendants guilty, though. Were they paid off to make him found guilty? Were they too afraid to say not guilty? Who knows? And here's the Lord Chief Justice, Sir John. Yeah, ability, Freemasonry. Look at this. For high treason, look at this. Attacking the state. What are they doing now? What they try to do with the public about some things. Crown Corporation. And who was this guy? An English barrister, judge and politician. But not independent, was he? Can't be held all three positions and not be independent. Wow, all those centuries ago. Wow, wow, wow. See? You have to just, if you want to go along with all the status quo and believe everything new traditionally and just go along, because they're all pretty fireworks. But come on. You want to live in a controlled state even more than ever. No, this is all the history, you see. Oh, and here you go, you see. Here we go. Londoners were encouraged to celebrate the king's escape from assassination by lighting bonfires, provided that this was a joy to be carefully done without any danger or disorder. And it became an act of parliament dedicated the 5th of November as a day of thanksgiving for the joyful day of deliverance. And it remained in place until the year is not in place anymore, by the way, until 1859. Fawkes was one of the 13, number 13. They like these numbers, don't they? But he is the individual most associated with the plot. They don't mention much about others, do they? But here we go. So in Britain, 5th of November has been known called the Guy Fawkes Night because of that. Yeah? But don't forget he pleaded not guilty. And it wasn't impartial justice those days either, and it's more so nowadays anyway. Back to the original celebration, so which can be traced back directly, accompanied by fireworks from 1650s onwards, and it became the custom after 1673 to burn, usually off the boat, when the presumptive James, Duke of York, converted to Catholicism. Of their noble figures that found their way onto the bonfires, such as Nick quotes who they were. The guy is normally created by children from old clothes, newspapers goes into that. And during the 19th century, guy came to mean an odd dressed individual. While in place, it has lost the connotation, instead refers to a male individual that can refer to any gender. So the professor of history in New York described how Guy Fawkes came to be toasted, the last man to enter Parliament with honest intentions, really. So, yeah, there's the true origins. It really is absolutely just that. And the people are just going along. You don't need to celebrate all this. And he pleaded not guilty, Guy Fawkes. And he was stitched up by the Jews. So there you go. I'll go away, you trolls. Right, let's go back into my channel. Let's get rid of these demonic. Oh look, we've got 2 more objects coming up. That's coming off the camera. That don't look like the moon. It's changed its position. You got 2 objects down here. Just delete these idiots on this channel. look at these two beside each other. You tell me what's that meant to be? They're trying to cause a really, really concerning. Oh my gosh, you can't make this BS up. Life is a challenge. Now the one is moving. They're both moving now. Oh, look. Fake UFOs. Come on, stop deception. Top one is moving to the right. They're trying to cover up the camera. They were just sitting there a minute ago. The other one's still sitting there. Static. The other one's still sitting there. Static. The other one's still sitting there. Well, oh. Right, that's it from me. So, again, King 3-1 was King Scotland as James 3-1 on 24th of July 1567, and the King of England of Ireland, James I, on the union of the Scottish and English crowns was dated 24th of March 1603, and to this death, 1624. The kingdom. So, I will get rid of those bloody idiots. They come in the back door and they just hack. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Yeah. Coming into my computer and putting your demonic things. Okay. You really are not celebrating anything. I've got to put this back on. So pathetic. So that's it for now. I can tell they're just. Oh, it's ridiculous. Radiation storm. Radiation storm. Right, here we go. Get rid of you. Right, here we go. Get rid of you. AI uses anyway. AI uses okay. There's got to be nobility in it. So. Let's get back. Cool. Yeah. And if you get right, that's it for me. I've got to go. Signing out. Seeing they're hacking me already.